Welcome to another episode of Awesome Workers, where we have some of the most interesting people in the world who create a difference in the lives of others and in the communities join us for a deep conversation. Welcome, Amanda Frolich.
Hello, good morning, Samir.
Good, very early morning to you there in London.
It is, but you're worth it.
Yeah. How are you doing today?
I'm wonderful. I'm the most positive person you will ever meet, Samir, let me tell you.
Beautiful, beautiful. Can you give us and our audience a brief introduction about you? Who is Amanda Frolich? And then we dive deeper into the various nuances of Amanda after that. But a short, brief.
Yeah, well, I am a dynamic and fun-loving educator who influences preschool children how to be active and healthy through my high energy activities to music concept.
Beautiful. That's it. So succinct. It's so practiced. I guess it's your pitch, right?
Can you tell I say that quite often?
You do say it quite often. I can hear that. Uh, what is it about children that makes you gravitate towards them more than anybody else?
Yeah, I think what I love about my job is watching these children develop through my weekly classes. It's just fascinating how they learn and explore the props. And my concept is all about using props in a physical and a fun way, linking the props to music. I make my own very funky music for children, and then bringing it all together through education. So I call it learning through play, the action Amanda way. And these props range from spider balls, pom poms, streamers, animals, cars, dinosaurs. So yeah, it's a real fun environment for preschool children to learn. And I teach children from ages 6 months to 4 years.
What got you started in this?
Well, I have a background in sport, leisure, and fitness. And I worked my way up to assistant manager of local leisure centres. And I was put on a music and movement course in 1991. I thought, I'm going to love this, teaching these teeny weenies. But the course that I attended, it was okay, but I knew that these children needed something more. So I went off to IKEA and I bought these little bunny rabbit ears and I gave them to the children at the class. And hey presto, my concept was born because we used the bunny rabbits for our Sleeping Bunny song. So they would wear the ears and then it was hop little bunnies, hop, hop, hop. And I just saw that the children needed something to have and to hold, to play with, to learn from. Without props, it's a lot more difficult to engage children, but they would get excited then to see what was next in the bag. So the way I teach the class is a bit like an aerobics session. So we start off with a high energy warm-up song, and then I show the children a bag of props. So we work with them, we play with them, and then well, it just becomes magical. And the learning is very, very easy for them because they don't realize they're learning because they're having lots of fun.
While you're speaking, I'm thinking this would be a great program for adults as well to bring out their inner child.
Believe me, when I entertain at birthday parties, I often have parents come up to me and say, can you entertain at my 40th? Because it's very dynamic, it's energetic, it's colorful, it's interactive, and it's very difficult to explain. So I always invite people to the class to watch it because you just need to be there to feel the energy. And I just enjoy creating adult production music for children.
What does that mean?
Well, what happened once, I was at a child's birthday party and I saw this guy videoing the session. And I said, oh, is that what you do for a living? Are you a videographer? He said, do you know, I'm a record producer. I said, I would love my own children's music. So we decided to create an album. We called it Big Songs for Little Ones. And it was lots of different genres. So we have a Caribbean Wind the Bobbin Up, a jazz version of Twinkle Twinkle. And the way the music is produced, it has a very, very strong beat, because when you're working with children, the stronger the beat, the higher they jump, because as soon as children hear music, they want to move. So the guy that produced this album, his name was Stevie Eagle E. He was an American rap artist. And his music is very, very, it's funky. And the children just love the music. And even the adults would say to me, Amanda, we don't mind playing your CD in the car because we bop along on our journey to the class. So yeah, the music is very, very different. And I now have 3 albums of music. And I think you will love my hydration song. Within my classes, we always stop for a water break, because I feel that children concentrate better if they've had a glass of water. So we stop for a water break, and we end up doing cheers to each other with our water because it's our water hydration song. I like to write music that has a meaning. And actually just after COVID, we produced a wash your hands song. So my music is very relevant to what's happening in today's society.
Since when have you been doing this? How many years has it been?
Oh, wow. So I went on a musical movement course in 1991. So 33 years I've been teaching children. I just love what I do, and it just gives me joy.
I can see you're a very creative person. You're someone who loves the energy of doing something which is different, which is unique each time. I can see that music plays a huge part in you releasing your creative juices.
Yeah, you could say that. Music
But
makes the world go round.
it does.
And
But do you
also,
get go on?
sorry, I was just going to say, also, you use the word energy. And I once went on a business course, and the presenter wrote, energy is everything. And that's what I have. It's all about energy,
Hmm. Yeah.
especially when
Uh,
teaching preschool children.
so that is my question. How do you not get bogged down by the monotony of doing it over and over again for like 30 years? How do
Because
you
I'm very, like you say, I'm very creative and innovative. So I'm always looking for new ideas, new resources, new music. And I just meet the most incredible people along the way. And I think, as I say, I enjoy watching the child develop. And I work with many early years consultants because I always like to be on top of my game, to know what's new in the industry, what excites children. But I just think the concept is very, very unique. And it's a bit like being an aerobics instructor. So it starts off with a high energy warm-up song. And then we need to vary the activities, high and low, to give the children time to recover. For instance, we have a cardio party song, which really raises our heart rate. And we use the pom-poms, and we create different dances and different routines. And I always speak to the parents and the nannies that attend the classes and ask them for ideas. And I just find when everybody says that I'm creative, and I just love what I do.
uh, what happened, or what do you remember any incident in your early life when you were 9, 10, 11, that happened or occurred which paved the direction that you are in right now?
Yes, it's funny you say that. Every Easter, I used to go and visit my cousins, and I suppose I just became a leader. And I would say to all my friends and cousins, why don't we go over the park? Let's play rounders. Let's play cricket. And I just found this love of sport. And all the boys would just knock at my door and say, Amanda, do you want to come and play? Do you want to come and play different sports? And I suppose with me, I just enjoyed the leisure side. And that's when I knew that I wanted a job that involved sport, leisure, and fitness. So when I left school, I attended a sports college. And then my first job was working for London Borough of Ealing Council, and it was called Sports Development. And we would fill a van of equipment. And during the summer, we would offer activities for underprivileged children. And then in the winter, we would work with the over 50s playing darts and table tennis and bowls. And I just knew that I wanted to work in that industry. And I suppose I fell into working with children through going on a course, because working with the London Borough of Ealing Council, they would pay for us to go on all these sports courses. And that's how I gained all my sports qualifications. I'm also a fitness instructor. And the concept of Amanda's Action Club was born through sport, leisure, fitness. So it's a combination of all of those activities put together in my class.
What gave you the courage to start something on your own? I mean, rather than work for
Well,
someone or
yeah,
do something. Yeah.
funny you say that. Collectively, I went on this course and we called it Action Kids. And I was the only one that thought, do you know what? I'm going to make a go of this. So I hired a little venue in a place called Acton, which is very near where I lived. And back in those days, there was no internet. I had to put posters in shop windows and I would advertise in magazines. And slowly, people would hear about my classes. And then one day, one of my customers said, can you do what you do at your session at my child's birthday party? And with me, I suppose when you're asked to do something and it's an opportunity, you have to say yes and figure out how to do it. So I said, yes, of course, I'll entertain at your child's birthday party. And that's how I got into being an entertainer. And the rest is history. And I suppose working in London, I started meeting all the celebrities. And actually, my first celebrity party was David and Victoria Beckham. I was asked to entertain for their World Cup party. And I organised their party for children, for their children's charity. And it was televised. And I suppose that's what started my journey in becoming a celebrity entertainer. And then there's a gentleman called Mark Owen, and he is in a band called Take That. He attended one of my classes with his children, and he then asked me to entertain. And then the rest is history. I had this name as a celebrity entertainer. And my biggest clients ended up being Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
recently, Mr. Boris Johnson, our ex-Prime Minister.
Interesting. Uh, how big? How big is your team? Do you do all of this by yourself? Do you have a huge team who come in and work with you? How is it?
Yeah, I started by myself. And then I thought to myself, how do I grow this? So I only have 5 members of my team, because trying to find someone who is like me is not easy, because they need passion, they need energy, they need drive. And it's not an easy task. And so about let me think, 8 years ago, I thought to myself, how do I grow this business? So I started going down the franchising route, but I was really upset with the consultant, because he said, you will never be able to franchise with your name attached to your brand. And I disagreed, but I went along with it. So he called the franchise Action Club. So I currently have one pilot franchisee in a place called Southampton. I just fell out of love with franchising because the consultants stripped me of my name. But my name is all about the background and the story of Amanda's Action Club. And so, as I say, I prefer being a one-woman band with a very, very small team because I like to keep control of my business. And it seems to work. Maybe I'll go back to franchising or licensing later on, but my passion now is building this animation TV series for Amanda's Action Club. I remember my mentor many years ago, she said, Amanda, why are you franchising? Why aren't you building yourself as a brand and a personal brand? And I think I am actually happier doing that and having a small team that I control rather than a large franchise operation, because I think my customers prefer that it's me and my own brand. So I think for me, I'd rather concentrate on making great music. I released my own book, Amanda's Action Club Finds Her Favorite Thing, and the animation TV series. So I finally found a production company that is going to produce the Action Amanda animation TV series. And then hopefully we would create the merchandise. Who knows, I could become the next Blippi. Blippi
You could be.
really a male version of me. But also there's a guy here in the UK called Joe Wicks, and he is a fitness instructor, and he's become very, very famous here in the UK, getting everybody to be fit and active. So I think if you could see me as the female version of Joe Wicks for preschoolers.
Do you work with students in schools, or you just work with them for their own personal birthday parties and events?
Yeah, what I do is I hire venues here in London, and I would probably say 90% of my customers are nannies who look after children and they bring them to my classes. I also have 4 nursery contracts. So I go into nurseries and I deliver my concept, getting all these preschoolers healthy and active. I also entertain children at birthday parties. I create incredible music for children. I also have the Amanda's Action Club app. So for those children that can't access me in London, they can purchase the Amanda's Action Club app, and you could go on Amazon and buy the little props that I use. So then you can have me in your home or on the go anywhere. You can just Zoom me to your laptop or the TV and you can join in. And that was actually my idea for Dragon's Den. There's a program here in the UK called Dragon's Den. And my idea 18 years ago was to create a DVD packaged with the props that I use in my classes. So again, you can take me anywhere on the run. And I didn't get through to the actual program, Dragon's Den. I got through to the interview process, but it doesn't matter because I've created that myself with the app, and people can now enjoy me anywhere around the world.
How was COVID for you?
That was interesting, let me tell you. Because obviously Amanda's not Amanda's Action Club unless I have those children in front of me. So, wow, I mean, I'm not very technical, and I spent many, many, many weeks trying to work out how to get the sound quality pitch perfect, how to use Zoom, the lighting. So I really became a technician. And it was interesting trying to pivot from physical to online. And I just remember a funny situation where I was booked by one family in Brazil, one family in Portugal, and there I am online trying to entertain these two families. And it was just really interesting because I'd have to come up with all these games and activity. So there I am saying to the parents, go to your broom cupboard and hold the broom, and then the children would limbo under the broom. So I would be playing the song and trying to instruct the adults what to do in their living rooms. It was just the most bizarre situation. And my mentor is a lady called Sammy Blindell. And collectively, myself and other businessmen and women, we decided to write a book about how we pivoted online during COVID, and our stories were just extraordinary. So it was challenging, but I could not wait until our industry could go outside. We were the first industry actually to go back out, the children's activity sector. So after COVID, we were allowed to run our classes, first of all, outdoors. And then finally, we got back inside. But it was the cleaning of the props that was also very, very challenging, because obviously the children are touching the props. After each class, we had to sterilize and clean. It was really, really challenging. But thank the Lord, we are back doing what we love doing.
You mentioned your mentor and having mentors around you a couple of times in this conversation already.
Yeah.
And I feel they have had a huge impact on your journey. Who are the kind of people that you surround yourself with? And who is it that you choose to avoid?
Well, it's funny you say that. I think I always surround myself with other businesses that are making an impact on others. So myself, I think I was put on this world to tackle childhood obesity. I mean, it's been a huge problem for many, many years, and more so now, because I see children with their mother's iPad or phone in front of them, whilst they're riding them around on the buggies or in the supermarket. And I just think, wow, how the world has changed. And I always love to learn through mentors. And, even when I said my piece to camera, I am a dynamic and fun-loving educator who influences preschool children how to be healthy and active through my high-energy activities to music. I went on a one-day course just to learn that piece. And this is another mentor I have called Gail Edwards. And what she does, she helps you with your personal branding. And I just find these mentors fascinating, because I always used to say to myself, am I a coach? Am I a teacher? Am I an educator? And to just get that piece, she just made me think, okay, so Amanda, what I want you to do is to choose 2 traits from your personality. And that's how I got the fun and dynamic. She then said, look at your roles on your labels. And I came out as an educator. She then said, look at the people that you're serving. So I serve preschool children. And then she said, look at what you do and ask yourself, what do you do? And then ask yourself what others say that you do. And that's how I got the last piece. And it's just fascinating. My mentor, Sammy Blindell, she always spoke about your colors. So what you wear as your branding relates to the values of your business, because for years I was wearing candy pink and white, which wasn't really relevant. So the values of my business is health, education, and fun. So fun is orange, as you can see. I've got my orange tracksuit buttons. So orange is fun and energy. Health is green, as you can see, green, and education is blue. And I would never, ever have known any of this. And so this is why I love surrounding myself with other business owners, because otherwise I would bore my family. And
Mm.
as I say, I just like to surround myself with others who are making an impact on the world. And yeah, it's very, very interesting. And I think those people that I avoid would be anyone who's negative. I am the most positive person. So I love to surround myself with those that lift me higher. And I've actually got a positivity song. Would you like me to sing it to you, Samir?
Yes, please.
Okay. I love life and life loves me. I have so much positivity because I'm all about high energy, loving life, being positive, energy. And I just think those that are negative, any negativity, I just get rid of. It's not in my vocabulary. I just want to have fun, live life to the full, make children happy, and educate them.
When you heard this franchisee guy who told you, don't put Amanda on Action Club and do it without the brand name, personal brand name, even
Yeah,
though we know Gucci and Ralph Lauren and Prada and everyone's put their
yeah,
name, and they were just ordinary human beings who put their name onto a brand and it became successful. He
yeah.
chose and advised you against it. Why did you not see that as negative at that point of time?
Well, I suppose when you try and franchise, you haven't got a clue what, what it's about, what to do. That's why I chose a consultant. And I think this goes back to now, always go with your gut and listen to yourself. And if you believe in yourself, don't let anybody tell you what to do. And I think I always learn the hard way, because I was thinking of picking up the franchise or maybe licensing, a bit like Body Pump. I think licensing is a lighter way of franchising. And I think what I did recently, I asked all of my friends on LinkedIn. I said, if I was to go back and franchise or license, and I asked the question, should I stay as Amanda's Action Club or Action Club? And the result was 90% said, no, you've absolutely got to call it Amanda's Action Club and not Action Club. And I thought that was really powerful. And I always now ask everybody's opinion, but at the end of the day, I'll go with my gut. And I've decided that the brand will always be Amanda's Action Club, and those that work for me will be action heroes of Amanda's Action Club. Would you agree?
I completely agree. I believe with Amanda's Action Club, it gives uh, a specific direction in terms of, because then Amanda becomes a focus and not Action Club. If you call it
Yeah.
Action Club, it feels like a taekwondo class, you know? It feels like you're going to
Yeah,
learn
it's very,
karate or something.
yeah, there's no meaning to it. It could be
Yeah,
anything.
it could be anything.
So
Yeah.
yeah, so again, I remember Will I Am, the pop star, he once said to everybody that he goes with his gut. And so he's someone that I admire in the music industry, and I love his values. So Will I Am and Action Amanda are going to go with our gut in every decision we have to make going forward, definitely.
Is there any other point of time in your life where you did not listen to your gut and you learned your lesson the hard way?
Yeah, again, and funny enough, this is with the same franchise consultant. I had an opportunity to go to Dubai and train staff who worked in nurseries in Dubai. And they offered to pay for my flight and accommodation. And I thought, wow, what an incredible opportunity. So I spoke to the franchising consultant and he said, no, no, you are not doing that without a fee. Go back to them and tell them that you're not going unless you charge them, I think he said something like £5,000. And there was something holding me back saying, no, that's not right. The money will come eventually. This is an incredible opportunity for me to go to Dubai to prove to everybody that Amanda's Action Club will be a success in Dubai. I mean, what an incredible opportunity. He said, no, no. So I went back and asked for the fee, and lo and behold, I lost the job. And from that day on, again, I said, Amanda, always listen to yourself and your gut. And again, it was just such an upsetting situation.
How do we choose between our gut versus intelligent advice?
Well, as I say, again, I always ask if I'm posed with a situation, I will talk to all my friends, but at the end of the day, I will always make that decision myself. Always. Yeah, I trust myself and my instincts now.
Yeah. Is it because you have seen far too many times that your instincts served you better than the advice of others?
Yeah, in many situations. And there was a guy on Instagram and he said exactly the same. Never, ever, ever listen to anybody else but yourself. And I'm gonna stick with this guy on all these occasions from going forward.
Yeah.
Because you know best.
I also believe it's because when we are taking a decision and when we are arriving at something, it's because of the context that we hold. If somebody is making the choice for us, we don't have all the context from their side because of which they are arriving at that decision. Do you
I
agree?
absolutely agree. Yeah, I do agree.
Yeah.
I'll think of some
So tell
other
me more.
situations we're talking.
Uh, you spoke about Dubai. Did Dubai happen again after that? Did you come to Dubai?
Dubai is a fascinating story, let me tell you. Just trying to think how many years ago, about 12 years ago, I was entertaining for one of my clients in London. And they were the nan and granddad of the child I was entertaining. And the grandma, she was an interior designer, and the grandfather, he was an accountant. And they sat me down and they said, Amanda, we really think Dubai needs you. And I said, what do you mean? And they said, well, in Dubai, they make the setting look amazing, the food, the decorations, but there's not many actual entertainers. So I thought, oh, I'm going to grasp this opportunity. I ran home and I said to my husband, we're going to Dubai. And he said, I don't really want to go. I said, please, please come to Dubai with me. You'll absolutely love it. And my daughter was about, I think she was about 4 years old at the time. So I asked my parents to look after her. So all of a sudden, my husband and I were on the plane to Dubai, and we stayed at the Hilton in Jumeirah Beach, near Jumeirah Beach. And I was running around with a briefcase in taxis. My husband was sunning himself at the Hilton. And I thought, thought to myself, okay, Amanda, what do you do to get attention in Dubai? So I've literally landed, didn't know anybody. So I went to the national newspaper and I asked to speak to the reporter. And I said, hello, I'm a celebrity entertainer from the UK. And I'm going to be doing a gig at Abu Dhabi Golf Club. Would you write a story on me? And they agreed. I then kept seeing Time Out Kiss Dubai in my hotel. So I then got in a taxi to Media City. And again, I asked Time Out Kiss Dubai if they would write a story. They agreed. And I met lots of businesses in Dubai. One was a magazine that ran, I think it was called Kids Something in Dubai. And they put me in contact with a party company, and we had arranged this big celebration at Abu Dhabi Golf Club, and I was going to entertain. This was in the February 12 years ago. So it was all set up, and I went back to London, and I was preparing to go back in April. But unfortunately, I got run over by a car and broke both legs in a car accident 4 days before I was due to do this event in Dubai. So I had to phone up everybody because the newspapers said celebrity entertainer was coming out, and I had to phone them up. And I said, look, I'm really sorry, but I've broken my legs in a car accident. Oh dear, it was just absolutely devastating. But as I'd got run over, I will never forget, the ambulance came to see what the situation was. And all I could think of was, how am I going to get to Dubai on crutches? Because I never, ever let anybody down. But I got the insurance money, and I took my break dancers back to Dubai. After 17 weeks, I recovered. So took the break dancers back out to Dubai, and I ended up entertaining at the Atlantis and the Palm and the Jumeirah Beach Hotel. So I suppose the moral of the story, Action Amanda, that's why I'm called Action Amanda, because nothing stops me. I suppose being fit and active, I recovered so quickly. The doctors couldn't believe my recovery. And I suppose the story of, with this is all about, if you believe in yourself, just literally go and fulfill your dreams. I mean, admittedly, it took 8 visits and lots of free events in Dubai to end up entertaining at the Atlantis on the Palm. But if I can do it, anybody can do it. And I really do believe that I need to go back to Dubai and do lots more of events, and maybe one day franchise and have lots of Amandas running around Dubai. Who knows? But it's the most unbelievable place. It really, really is. And the Burj Khalifa it's just the most incredible building. And when I took my break dancers back out with me, we've got this unbelievable picture of Tim, one of my break dancers, flipping midair with the Burj Khalifa behind us. I'll send it to you, Samir. It's amazing.
I was going to ask you, what's stopping you right now from moving here?
Do you know what? If my daughter, if she was secure and I didn't have to worry about her, honestly, Dubai would absolutely be my dream destination. It really, really would.
So for your daughter, there are amazing schools over here. Some
Well,
of the best schools.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's actually just started at university to become a
okay.
midwife. Yeah, at
Okay.
City of London University. And she'll be there for 3 years. But, with that qualification, she can travel all over the world. So, Samir, watch this space. Maybe the 3 of us will end up in Dubai. But there's nothing stopping me coming to visit you.
Definitely. Looking forward to it. I was in London actually for After COVID 2021, I was there probably 4 5 months. I was spending my time in London, Scotland, really. But when I was there, I was always thinking, when can I go back? Dubai was, uh, Dubai has a pull that I feel is magical. When you start living over here, you experience something which is pretty rare when you look around the world. Not that it has the greenery and the warmth of London, but it's very different. It's a very different way.
It is.
Apart from,
I would
apart,
use the word fascinating. Dubai
I
is
would use,
fascinating. It's somewhere you just have to experience, isn't it?
yeah. And I believe a huge part of it is the leadership of the country and how they steer
Yeah.
forward their policies, their vision, their direction, how they are very inclusive, how they are very participative, how they are among the people. And when you see that, you just get inspired to create your own dreams as well. Somebody was talking about how the ruler of the country is more like a CEO of a country, of a business. He sees the whole country as a business, and he operates
Yeah.
it like asking what is it that the customer wants and then providing that to them. Um, Apart from franchising and apart from moving to Dubai, what else is a dream of yours?
Well, do you know what? I have really fulfilled many of my dreams. I go away on holiday every Christmas, and we went to Thailand, and I just walked the beach up and down. And I said to myself, 2023 is going to be my year. I was born on the 23rd, so was my daughter, also my sister. My mum gave birth to me at the age of 23. So I knew that was my year to really excel in my business. And I said to myself, Amanda, because you love children's music, you're going to have a number one kids hit. You're going to create an Action Amanda book, and you're going to have an animation TV series. And I really do believe in manifestation. And I've absolutely fulfilled all of those dreams. So when I got back from Thailand, I thought to myself, I need to find an incredible songwriter. So I just went on LinkedIn and I found this lady called Katie Marnie. She agreed to write me a new song. So we decided that this song was going to be called the Catchy Song, because we wanted it to be all about children having fun and dancing and singing and jumping. And then Katie introduced me to a producer called Ian Catt. He was a very famous producer back in the 80s with a band called Saint Etienne. So he agreed to produce the song. And then Katie said, Amanda, we want you to sing it. And now I'm not a professional singer, but I do sing on my previous albums because my voice adds energy. So I went to record it. And lo and behold, this year, with the Catchy Song, we knocked Baby Shark off the number one spot on the iTunes Kids charts. And I've now got to promote the song. So if you want to have a listen, Samir, it's called The Catchy Song by The Catchies, because Katie and Ian Catt are the producers of The Catchy Song. And I'd love to know if you think it's catchy, because if it beat Baby Shark off the number one spot, someone saw potential. And just going back to my music, actually, I have 3 albums. So I work with Stevie Eagle E from Gillette Entertainment on the first album, which was very, very funky. But then I knew I needed to go back to what I call plinky plonk songs. And I knew I wanted to find a record producer that writes songs that stick in your head. And I met this lady at a networking event, and she introduced me to Andrew McCrory Shand. Have you heard of the Teletubbies, Samir?
Yeah.
So the Teletubbies had a really famous song called Say Eh-Oh, and it was produced by Andrew. And we commissioned Andrew to write the next album, which was called Fun, Fitness and Music. And Andrew said to me at the time, what songs are missing from your sort of like sessions when you teach the children? I said, well, what we do, we work with these props, but we need a tidy up song. So when we finish playing with the toys, we need the children to understand the importance of tidying up. So we created the tidy up song. I think it's got about 190,000 views on the music video to the tidy up song. So that's my famous tidy up song. And the album also has my Action Amanda theme tune for the TV series. And then lots of people in my industry started copying my concept. So I then found another producer. So the third album is called Action Club. And that album is very much instructional. So we've got a streamer song, we've got a shake your egg song, we've got a pom-pom song, we've got a parachute song. And I just love making music for children, but I'd never really cracked it with one song being number one. So I'm very, very proud of the catchy song. I'd love for you to listen to it one day. And then with the book, I knew that I wanted to take the Action Amanda character and produce a book. So it's available on Amazon. It's called Action Amanda Finds Her Favorite Thing. So we're now at the stage where we're ready to market that book to the world, because it's an interactive book. So you'll be reading it to your child, and all of a sudden you'll say, why don't we try jumping like Action Amanda? And then you'll read it again, because Action Amanda finds her favorite thing. She's trying to find her favorite sporting activity. So she tries yoga, she tries gymnastics, and it works out that she enjoys jumping as her favorite activity. And then the book will start introducing all her action heroes, and it's all about Action Amanda trying to try all these other sports of her friends. And then going back to the animation series, I've had this pitch deck that I've been working on for 7 years. It was never quite right. And I've been trying to find a production company to help me produce the program. And I gambled being on stage presenting at the brand licensing show to try and get a deal with Amanda's Action Club. So I pitched at this show, and a guy come up to me, his name is Martin. He said, Amanda, I'm actually looking to produce a program all about fitness and preschool. So we had a meeting 4 weeks ago in London. And honestly, I cannot tell you how happy I am, because Martin and his team will help me refine my pitch deck. They will then take the concept and pitch it to TV companies. Hopefully they will be interested in funding the program. Apparently TV companies don't fund the full amount. So I will then go out to investors. Martin will then make the TV series, and his other company is all about merchandising. And as I say, if this takes off, my dream will be fulfilled, having my own animation TV series, and then I can leave a legacy around the world through Action Amanda, promoting the importance of getting preschool children healthy and active from the earliest of ages. So really, you asked the question, what is your dream? That will be my legacy. But I'm just feeling really proud of myself that, my 3 manifestations actually happened this year, 2023.
Getting goosebumps, thinking just about how you have actually, you speak about manifestation, but I can see very clearly uh, from what you're sharing, the tremendous amount of effort you're putting into manifesting those things as well.
Yeah.
So the kind of conversations you're having, the kind of people you're attracting into your life, the kind of conversations which is leading one to another, you are putting tremendous amount of effort into making things happen for you. even taking a break so
Yeah.
that you detach yourself and go to Thailand and sit there and 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 not be cluttered with anything else, but just to
Does.
be thinking, visualize.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It's so inspiring for me actually to be hearing everything. What does a producer do, and how much do they charge you, or what does it cost to produce a music, for example?
Wow. You don't want to know. Well, each album cost me £15,000. And I
Wow.
suppose you could produce music more cost effectively, let's say. But I just enjoy working with professionals and quality. And it's funny because my mentor always used to talk about, Amanda, perfect is poverty. But I always wanted the best of the best and quality. I'm very much a perfectionist, and maybe this comes down to me. Well, my name is in German. It's Frolich, and it means happy, jolly. And I don't know whether it comes from being German because I'm very efficient. I don't dither. Um, I like to work with people that are very good communicators. If someone doesn't communicate with me, I'm gone because I need them to get back to me. And Action Amanda works with the speed of lightning. And it's funny, in my storybook, Action Amanda finds her favorite thing. I drive around on what I call my whizzicle. It's not a bicycle, it's a whizzicle because I whiz around and I do everything very, very quickly. And yeah, for me, I just I just enjoy working with other people that are creative, and just going back to mentors and you saying, look, you've really done all of this by yourself. And just after COVID, I thought to myself, all right, Amanda, you really need to scale this business now. And I'm not driven by money. I'm driven by leaving my legacy. And I suppose Michelle Obama always said, success is not about how much money you make, it's about the lives that you change. And that is me. And after COVID, I said to myself, Amanda, perhaps you need more mentors around you to be able to leave this legacy. And I remember spending a fortune on different mentors. And then my friend said to me, why are you spending this money getting other people to tell you what to do when what you've created, you've done this by yourself? You go out, you network, and you seem to find the right people to help you along your journey. And actually, that is what's happened. So now I don't go out finding these mentors. I just get on with it. And it seems like the people in my life, they just drop down from heaven, it seems, and they become my angels, and they just help me. Same with Martin. And yeah, I just believe that I'm on a very, very exciting path. And all I want really is for children around the world to experience the fun and the energy that I have to educate children in a fun way.
There's something about what you just shared about the title of your book as well, which is Amanda Finds Her Favorite Thing. And what find so inspiring is if a child is able to get that, they will find their vocation, they will find their journey in life, and they will uh, dance to the tune of their own music in their hearts.
Yeah,
And I think that's what you are really gunning for. It's people being able to celebrate who they are in their purest form.
yeah. Well, it's funny you say that because I know that what I do works. And I'll give you an example. Through Amanda's Action Club and attending weekly, I give children, well, I cultivate confidence. Therefore, I produce actors. I have several children that have gone through my program and they are now West End musical stars. I also give children coordination, and I know that many children have gone on to become elite athletes through giving them that coordination for their sport. And I give children rhythm. For instance, one little boy that came to my class as a baby, he's now 15 years of age. He ended up dancing on stage with Justin Bieber, and he's actually the choreographer for the dance routine to my catchy song and the music video. And he's now just gone on to start being educated at the Brit School. And I can't walk down Chiswick High Road without a mum coming up to me, because that's where I taught for many years. And they would say, "Is that you, Action Amanda?" Wow, they say, my child is excelling at university or in the jobs that they're doing. Because if you can give children confidence, coordination, rhythm from an early age, they are going to be our future stars. And it's just so unbelievable to hear all these kind words through my teaching.
Beautiful. I just noticed it's been an hour and time has just whizzed by like a musical,
Like a
And I
musical.
just,
I think I might have to patent that. What do you think,
you
Samir?
said, you said you should, uh, uh, what are your closing remarks, apart from the fact that you're coming to Dubai soon, that you want to share with our audience?
Well, I would say, looking at my journey, the ups and downs, the roller coaster ride of business, my advice would be, if you believe in yourself and you have dreams, you can conquer anything. And my friends, they always say to me, "Amanda, only you can have an idea and you get on a plane and you make it happen." And just going back to jumping on a plane, I once woke up to a phone call about 12 years ago, and it was from a couple in China. And they found me on the internet and they said, "Amanda, we love your concept. We want to come over to the UK." So I invited them over. And funny enough, I was working with a marketing consultant who was Chinese. So fortunately, she was my translator. So this Chinese couple came over to the UK and they were taking pictures of all the props. And what they wanted to do was to take me back to China and build this incredible stadium. And they wanted me to train all the staff, a bit like Gymboree. And I'll never forget it. Her name was Ho. She said, "Amanda's not going to China unless you deposit £10,000 into her bank account." And I just remember thinking, what did you just say? But then the next day, the money landed, and myself, my husband, and the marketing consultant was on a plane to Beijing, but then to Wuhan. Now, Samir, how many people can say that they've been to Wuhan? And we were wined and dined for 5 days. It was the most incredible experience of my life. But unfortunately, the deal wasn't quite right. So it didn't happen. But again, I think in life, if you're presented with an opportunity, you say yes, you
And
go
figure
for
it out.
it. And out of think how big China is. And I landed in Wuhan. And what's so funny about that story, we wrote the Wash Your Hands song and we ended up on the BBC News. So it's quite a coincidence. But in my life, you never know what's going to happen.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Amanda. It's been a pleasure listening to you and learning from you, getting inspired by your journey. And I look forward to connecting once again and perhaps meeting you very soon. Maybe you'll jump on a plane or I'll jump on a
And
plane. I don't know.
when you invite me to Dubai, I am there, and likewise you here in London. And thank you so much for the opportunity. I really, really appreciate your time having me on.
Thank you very much. Have a blessed day.
Thank you. Thank you.
Ciao.